Now the Holy Gospel for us in this Sunday, the second Sunday of Pentecost, is the Gospel according to St. Luke, the 8th chapter.
Glory to you, Lord.
Then when they, Jesus and his disciples, arrived at the country of the Gerasenes, which is opposite of Galilee, as Jesus stepped out of land, a man of the city who had demons met him. For a long time, he had worn no clothes, in other words, naked. And he did not live in the house, but in the tombs. So when he saw Jesus, he fell down before him and shouted at the top of his voice, "What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, do not torment me." For Jesus had commanded the unclean spirit to come out of the man. Many times it had seized him, and he was kept under guard and bound with chains and shackles, and he would break the bonds and be driven by the demons into the wilds. Jesus then asked him, "What's your name?" And he said, "Legion," for many demons had entered him. And they begged Jesus not to order him to return or go back into the alley. Now there, on the hillside, a large herd of swine was feeding. And the demons begged Jesus that they might let them enter into this. And Jesus gave them permission. So the demons came out of the man and entered into the swine. And the herd rushed down into this steep bank into the lake, and they were drowned. And when the swineherds saw what had happened, they ran off. They told it in the city and in the country. And many people came out to see what had happened. And when they came to Jesus, and they found the man from whom the demon had gone was sitting at the feet of Jesus, clothed and in his right mind, they were afraid. And those who had seen it told them how the one who had been possessed by a demon had been healed. So all the people of the surrounding country of Gerasenes asked Jesus to leave them, for they are seized with great fear. So Jesus got into the boat and returned. The man from whom the demon had gone wished that he might be with Jesus. But Jesus said, he sent him away saying, "Go, return to your people and declare how much the Lord has done for you." forgiven us. Proclaim throughout the city how Jesus had done for him. Now this is the gospel of our Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Christ.
Please be seated. May we pray. And Lord, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of our hearts be pleasing in your sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. Grace and peace to you, my brothers and sisters in Christ. I wish to reflect our gospel story today about the healing of the man who was possessed by demons in the light of our vacation Bible school themes this week, while they're still fresh in my mind and in the minds of others who participated in our vacation Bible school this week. Children and youth and adults, helpers alike. And the main theme of the VBS this year is roar, just like the roaring of the lion, portraying the wildness of life with all the dangers surrounding us day and night, just like the lives of the animals in the wild savanna of Africa, striving for survival. But at the end, we learn that God is good. God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. And for 5 days of VBS, each day we had our sub-theme. I'm going to do a little bit test to participants this past week. What's the first day theme? When life is unfair.
God is good.
The second day?
When life is scary.
When life is scary, God is good. The third day?
When life changes.
When life changes, God is good. The fourth day?
When life is sad, God is good.
And the last day and the best day?
When life is good, God is good.
When life is good, God is good. Somebody paid attention to our goodness. That's wonderful. When I think about the man who was possessed by the demons in our gospel story today, experienced all of those life experiences, especially the first four. How his life was unfair, scary, changes, and sad. He had them all. First of all, talking about unfairness in life, his name is not even mentioned in that story. He is only identified as a man from the city who had demons. That's how he described him. In other words, that he was nobody, or nobody cared, marginalized by his own people and community that he loved so dearly. His predicament, because of his predicament, he was kept under God, bound with chains and shackles, isolated him from his family and community, and held him captive. And to make matters worse, the demons freed him from the human captivity in order to further isolate him. While most people of the time lived their normal life, having clothes to wear, a house to live, foods to eat, and all that sustained them, while this man was naked and lived in the tombs among the dead. It is scary for living in the tomb with the dead, tormented by the demons day and night. He was possessed not only by one or two demons, but legion. That's what our gospel describes today, using the Romans occupying army unit term that consists 6,000 soldiers that tortured and tormented him day and night. Even though the gospel doesn't mention about his family, but I bet you his parents must have endured great pains and sufferings just to think and watch their son suffering day and night and had no power to do anything to help. And this sense guilt to bear. And his illness indeed created changes in his life and his family. It changed the way people look at him or treated him and his family. The whole experience was filled with sadness until Jesus showed up. When Jesus showed up, things change. Everything goes upside down. And that's the beginning of the good news. In spite of all the unfairness, scary, and changes and sadness in life this man had to go through, but the gospel story tells us today that he was indeed not forgotten. God showed his love and mercy. Jesus crossed the Gentile or the unclean territory, the enemy territory, if you will, in order to free this man from the human and demons' captivity. In Jesus, his life does matter. In fact, in Jesus, everyone's life matters, no matter who you are or whatever life circumstance you have in life. We live in a world that easily defines people by their circumstances. For children, for instance, can easily identify them as autistic or ADHD or ADD or learning disability and so forth. And likewise, in the life of adults, people are easily defined according to their social or economic status, the country of origin. You know, in a less than 1 week, 2 people came to me and asked me, "What nationality are you?" And I said, "Man, I am American. I'm an American. I love America just as you love America. And I know American history and the Constitution. They tested me for that. I contribute to this community, to this country, and I pay my taxes. I'm as American as everybody else." In Jesus, all those identities that burden people are washed in the water of our baptism. That we are called children of God. No matter who you are, where you're from, or what sexual orientations you are, we all are equal in God's eyes. We are children of God. Jesus restored the life of this man, just as Jesus offers to restore your life. The gospel described that he wore clothes now and sat at the feet of Jesus, just like the disciples, and in his right mind. The problem now seems not in this man any longer, but in the community itself. The community seems to have a hard time accepting him into the community once again. Or perhaps they were unable to see this man beyond his previous life. Just like those who had recovered from their addictions or their former convicts are having a hard time to be blended or accepted in the community not fully recovered? Or what if the person commits such crime again and so forth? And this is a question for us as a church to ponder. When we say all are welcome in this place, do we really mean what we say? Faith in Jesus sometimes can be scary. It pushes us beyond our comfort zone. It seems now, after the healing of this man, we discover that the community is the one who needs healing. Healing from discriminating or alienating others. When Jesus freed this man from all that kept him captive, he is now freed to live his life to the fullest. Free to tell people what the Lord has done for him. Jesus rejected the request of this man to be with Jesus, to follow him wherever he goes. But Jesus had a mission, a clear mission and purpose for him, to return to his home, to declare how much God has done for him. Perhaps Jesus did it because just want him to declare and proclaim the goodness of God done to him, to his fellow countrymen, to become wounded healer, using Thomas Norton's word, if you will. And just for your information, they were still early in Jesus' ministry. It was even before Jesus revealed himself to his disciples. Now Jesus called and sent this man to become the first apostle, the one who sent out to bring about the good news into the Gentiles. Jesus showed this man a practical way to share the good news that is not required an intensive theological study, of course, simply by telling people how much God has done for him. This should be a good model for us to follow in our evangelism strategy. Rather than asking people if they're saved or not, for God already saved them 2,000 years ago, or persuade people to believe the way we believe or practice the way we practice our faith, why don't we share with people how much God has done for you, or what your faith means to you when you are facing circumstances or problems in life? Those who have such problems might be inspired or moved by that. During our VBS this week, we asked our kids and the volunteers to share their God sightings, where they saw or experienced God in their lives or in the lives of others, and share that the joy may abound. For indeed, God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. Thanks be to God. Amen.